Mid-America Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake is made possible by
I'm Trey Sepps, and I'm a data center facilities technician at Google in the Mid-America Industrial Park. I never thought I'd be working at Google coming out of high school. My senior year, I had a buddy refer me to OSU IT. When I walked in, my picture was up on the wall from being there whenever I was a kid, and I took a Lego camp in like 4th grade. As a data center facilities technician at Google, I am on the electrical team. I do electrical and electronics maintenance. I believe that OSU IT being right here inside the Mid-America Industrial Park is a good asset for the companies within the Mid-America Industrial Park to find people to be ready to work for their company.
also by
Electricity makes our everyday lives more convenient. We all know it costs more to fill your gas tank, buy prescriptions, and even go to the doctor. In the last decade, gasoline costs rose 11% every year. A dozen eggs increased in cost nearly 8%. Your electricity? It only rose on average less than 5% each year. Your local electric cooperative works hard to keep your electric service safe, affordable, and reliable. Discover the power of your co-op membership.
and by
After finishing high school, I immediately got married and started my family. Without a college degree, I found that pretty quickly my options were limited. When I started looking around for a college program for working adults, I quickly found that Rogers State was a great fit. They worked with me to get financial aid, offered classes that fit my busy schedule, and gave me personalized attention that I couldn't get at a larger school. Rogers State definitely started me on my professional career.
as well as by
The Grand River Dam Authority is Oklahoma's state-owned electric utility, fully funded by revenues from electric and water sales instead of taxes. GRDA electricity touches 75 of 77 counties in the state and serves as an economic development engine for all of Oklahoma. At no cost to taxpayers, GRDA also manages 70,000 surface acres of lakes, including Grand Lake, Lake Hudson, and the W.R. Hallway Reservoir. Annually, the efforts of Team GRDA facilitate over $450 million in economic activity in Oklahoma.
and by viewers and members like you.
Coming up on this edition of Mid-America Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake, if you love to golf, then you'll enjoy playing around at Patricia Island Golf Club. Plus, Grove's newest museum is full of nostalgia. We'll take you to Second Kick Cycle Works in Grove for a ride back in time. And the first annual Glock Shootout was a huge hit on Grand Lake. Thousands were on hand to watch this Radar Run event. We'll introduce you to one of the tournament founders, Linda Little. All of that and more coming up on Mid-America Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake.
This is Living Grand on Grand Lake!
This is Living Grand
on Grand Lake.
This is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
Hello, I'm Christy Wallace, and if you're searching for a luxurious and affordable retirement lifestyle, take a look at Patricia Island Estates and Golf Club. It's a gorgeous place to call home, and if you're a golfer, then the 18-hole championship golf course is an ideal match for your lifestyle. We'll take a tour of the best holes and learn how to play them with General Manager Andy Stewart. Let's take a look.
Patricia Island Golf Club was originally a 323-acre Hereford ranch. They were just running cattle on this piece of property. And about 20 years ago, we decided to turn it into a real estate development with a golf course in the middle of it. Trip Davis was the golf course architect that we decided to use. And when we talked to Trip, he understood what we were looking for. We wanted a course that you could step back to the back tees and get all you wanted, or you can move up to the front tees and just have a great time and possibly have the best round of golf in your life. It's a true risk-reward golf course, and Trip did a great job with the design. We are on hole number 7 at Patricia Island Golf Club. It is the hardest par 3 on the course. It's set up to go directly into the south wind, and we've got exactly that today. From the gold tees, it's about 230 yards, and we're hitting into probably a 10, 15 mile an hour wind. So get out all you want. Today, for me, it's 3 wood. So we're gonna tee one up and see how it goes. Okay, we're on the putting surface. As you can see when you take a peek at this green, it's huge. All the greens out here are fairly large. They're all undulated and they're all very well built. This putt here is gonna move about 1 foot to 1.5 foot to the right, and it's about 40 feet, and we're gonna give it a roll. Left it short, but we can make 3 from there. All right, we've got about 2 feet left for par. Let's knock this thing in. All right, we made 3. Let's run to the next hole. Into this wind, we'll take that today. We're here on the 13th tee box. It's the par 5 that eats everybody's lunch at Patricia Island. You've got nothing but trouble down the left side, water out of play. You've got hazard on the right side and a skinny little chute to hit through. If you hit it far enough up there, you can take a swing at it and try to get it on in 2. Most people have to lay up here and make it a true 3-shot par 5. It's a great hole, and we're gonna see what we can do. All right, we hit a pretty good one off the tee. This hole's about 520, and we've got 225 left. So hit it about 295. We're gonna hit a 2 hybrid and see if we can't knock it on the green. All right, we're here on the 13th green. We got about a 35-footer that's gonna break about 5 feet to the left. We're gonna try to slide it out there to the right and maybe it'll fall in. But we got about 2 feet straight up the hill for birdie. We're gonna knock this in and be plenty happy. All right, we've made it to the home hole, number 18 at Patricia Island Golf Club. As you can see, this hole is a little bit of a dog leg left. There's a couple bunkers on the right, but just like the rest of the golf course, if you're playing from the up tees, there's not a lot of forced carries. It's not overly difficult if you can keep it between the roughs. Anybody can play this golf course. We're gonna try to hit a little draw down the middle, curve it off of that bunker, try to hit it about 290, so we've got about 230 yards left into the green. .265 left into the green. No real trouble up there, just some bunkers to the left. Just need to hit a good solid 3 wood to get there. We've got about 20 feet left to finish the day. This is for eagle. Well, that's it for our round today at Patricia Island. We got a little one here left for birdie. We'd love to have you come out and try it. We think you'll love the course, and we hope to see you soon.
Not only is Andy Stewart one of the best golfers in the area, but he runs one of the best courses in the area as well. If you're ready to play at Patricia Island, you can go online to book a tee time or learn about their special packages at patriciaisland.com. Now stay with us. Coming up, we'll talk to the founders of the first annual Glock Shootout. But first, here's some more fun in the sun. You're watching Mid-America Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake.
Hi, we're the crew at Morrow's, and this is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
This is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
I'm Trey Sepps, and I'm a data center facilities technician at Google in the Mid-America Industrial Park. I never thought I'd be working at Google coming out of high school. My senior year, I had a buddy refer me to OSUIT. When I walked in, my picture was up on the wall from being there whenever I was a kid, and I took a Lego camp in like 4th grade. As a data center facilities technician at Google, I am on the electrical team. I do electrical and electronics maintenance. I believe that OSUIT being right here inside the Mid-America Industrial Park is a good asset for the companies within the Mid-America Industrial Park to find people to be ready to work for their company.
Hello, our safety tip for today, we're going to talk about the float plan. Another way to make sure that we have a safe day on the water. A float plan is simply writing down or telling a family member or a friend exactly what our plans are for today. We can tell them what time we leave, what time we're going to return, who we're with, where we're going to go throughout the day. That way if we have any trouble, somebody knows where we're at and what our plans are. If we don't have any communication, they can send out somebody to look for us and make sure we make it home safe. To add to that, make sure you have communication. Make sure you take cell phones, make sure you have possibly a marine radio. If you need assistance, you can call for it. So a float plan is just simply telling people and family members exactly what your plans are for today. So if you do have any trouble, you can make sure that you've got help on the way.
Time now for the Grand Lake Chronicles event page. Boats, bikes, bikinis, and barbecue. It's the 11th annual event, August 1st from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. All proceeds benefit the South Grand Lake Helping Children and Bikers Against Child Abuse International. Admissions free with barbecue all day, live entertainment, bikini contest at 2 p.m., boat show, silent auction, and vacation raffle. $1,000 cash prize goes to first place in that bikini contest and $500 for second place. For more information, call 918-782-3292. Happy birthday to you! The Pensacola Dam and Grand Lake's 75th birthday celebration is all set for Friday, August 7th at the GRDA's Ecosystem and Education Center starting at 7 p.m. Come celebrate 75 years of achievement with special recognition of descendants of the dam builders, the Pensacola Dam Construction Photo Exhibit, plus cupcakes and cherry berry frozen yogurt while they last. Woodstock on the Water is coming up August 8th at high noon. Come celebrate the 75th anniversary of Grand Lake, featuring live music from Travis Kidd Band, Kirkland Field, Bootleggers Union, Reverse Reaction, Jim Sweeney and Chris Campbell. Then at 2 p.m., enjoy a water ski, wakeboard, and surf event from the dam. The Hook and Cook-Off is August 29th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the South Grand Lake Regional Airport. This is SGL Chambers' 22nd annual event, which includes cooking teams competing for best fish, hush puppies, and coleslaw. Tasting kits will be provided, and the public will determine the winners for each category. Enjoy live music, vendors, and plenty of things for the kids to do too. Well, that's it for now on the Grand Lake Chronicles events page.
Welcome back to Mid-America Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake. I'm Christy Wallace. Grand Laker Jim Surge has been collecting and restoring motorcycles for most of his life. Jim and his sweetie Jonelle decided it was about time to share their precious treasures with others, and the rest, they say, is history. Jim and Jonelle opened a museum called Second Kick Cycle Works, and as if that weren't enough, they tucked a delicious deli in the back of the museum. Let's check out this unique attraction in the heart of Grove.
Motorcycle people come in here and can't believe it because we've got those one-way windows and they have no idea what's in here, and they come in and they really their eyes really light up.
Where did you have them all before you opened this? That's their biggest question.
The first look on their face is worth everything because they walk in the door and they look around and they go, my gosh, we didn't know this was here. What I call my first big motorcycle was a 1971 TC90 Suzuki. It was a real big bike to me back then. I was about 14 years old, 15.
I was fortunate enough to make my living working in the motorcycle industry. I never was a good racer, but I did a lot of tuning on race bikes.
Really, the motorcycles have been a great deal for my family because we all got together and that was our short vacations going to the racetrack and riding and stuff.
But I was very happy to have this place here. We had the 1937 BSA sitting in our living room for several years. So it was actually made me very happy to be able to sit it here in the museum.
We totally rebuilt the building. It took me 2 years to do the building and restore it to what it is now, which is just as much fun as building a motorcycle. To me, it's what I do, you know. I work with my hands, I'm that kind of guy.
We're both have a sickness with motorcycles, you know, we're motorcycle nuts. I had motorcycles at home in my own shop, but only my close friends ever got to see them. And I thought, boy, to have a museum where everybody can see them, and a lot of memorabilia in here I had collected through the years.
I tried to represent a lot of different kind of race bikes here. We got flat track racers. Flat track's the only American racing sport, motorcycle sport, flat track bikes. I've got a speedway motorcycle over here, trials bikes over here. I've got enduro bikes.
The Harley is a factory-built race bike, 1948 WRTT, and it's a 45 cubic inch, and it was ridden by Floyd Emdy, the original owner, who I got it from.
A lot of guys would take these Hodakas and modify them, and they made everything out of them. Motocross racers, flat track bikes, trials bikes, speedway bikes.
There's another motorcycle over there, a Velocette, which set a record at Bonneville in 1952. And the gentleman that originally owned it was a good friend of mine, and so I got it from him.
It was built and run by a guy named Lloyd Bulmer, and broke a speed record back then, almost 120 miles an hour. There's a lot to see in here, a lot of history.
We opened the sandwich shop largely because of Jim's dream of having an antique motorcycle museum. And so we opened the sandwich shop to make enough money to fund his project so that we wouldn't have to charge for the entrance of the museum.
Well, these old bikes just have the history, you know, and they got there's a lot more metal in them than the new ones are a lot of plastic. But these are like old cars, just like old cars. They have a lot more character.
He's done this for 40 years, and actually so many of them has rebuilt, and that's what he did for stress relief, and he loves it. I don't know that I've ever known anyone to love motorcycles like he does.
It's hard to say what I love most, checking out those vintage bikes or checking out those vintage bikes while wolfing down a delicious sandwich. I think I'll do the latter. The Second Kick Cycle Works Museum and the Checkered Past Alley are open 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday. Hey, if you'd like to get caught up on some of our previous shows from the season, you can simply go to rsu.tv or go to Living Grand's YouTube channel and just search for Living Grand on Grand Lake. Now here's some more fun in the sun. You're watching Mid-America Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake.
This is Living Grand on Grand Lake. This is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
The Grand River Dam Authority is Oklahoma's state-owned electric utility, fully funded by revenues from electric and water sales instead of taxes. GRDA Electricity touches 75 of 77 counties in the state and serves as an economic development engine for all of Oklahoma. At no cost to taxpayers, GRDA also manages 70,000 surface acres of lakes, including Grand Lake, Lake Hudson, and the W.R. Hallway Reservoir. Annually, the efforts of Team GRDA facilitate over $450 million in economic activity in Oklahoma.
You two look happy? Is there anything else I can get for you? Okay.
Cherokee Casino and Hotel, West Siloam Springs. The feeling stays with you.
Thanks for staying with us. I'm Christy Wallace. Grand Lake's first annual Glock Shootout took place just a few weeks back, and people are still raving about this awesome event. With a committee full of committed Grand Lakers planning the event, it was destined to be a success. We'll meet two of the Glock founders, Jim and Linda Little, who came all the way from Chicago to make a splash.
The two you have here are the top national racers in the nation right now. Mr. Win Farnsworth is the top national turbine, and Mr. Mungle behind me is the top fastest 32 skater in the nation. Well, we started out with a little like tiny, maybe 21-foot ski boat. We started out with teaching the kids how to ski. We've owned a boat since 1972. Ken counted up the other day, the boat we currently have now is our 50th boat. And when they moved to Chicago, the winters are long and there was nothing to do, so they decided to build a boat, and that's when they got into high performance. We met some people from Dubuque, Iowa, who had Thunderfest, and we were involved with Thunderfest on the Dubuque River. And so this was something that just keeps growing and growing. And sometimes it's unfortunate, but the faster they go, the faster they want to go, and the adrenaline keeps going and the boats keep getting bigger. So it's just a love for this sport and the boats and the people that are involved with it. And we decided that we wanted to take our boat and go somewhere fun, and this was the lake that we found the hot boats on. So we bought a cabin, and then after I retired, we kept coming over more often and staying longer and staying longer. And we just looked at each other one day and said, bucket list, this is where we want to be, and this is what we want to do. And we love the people here, we love the community, we love the lake. You can go out and go to dinner. You can go to a bar and have a drink. You can listen to a band. You've got just get in your boat and just go wherever you want to. And that's more of a Florida style boating than it is an Oklahoma boating tradition. And we were used to that and we loved it, and that's what we saw here, and that's what we want to show people. We thought, how fun would it be to have a shootout here in the Midwest to kind of support Lotto and to bring fast boating to this community and help out the community with a new demographic of people into the area. A shootout is where the boats line up and they run against a radar run one at a time. And we have chosen a 3/4 mile track. This boat behind me does 191 if you let him go. Low altitude, our turbine out in the parking lot has done 220. We have smaller boats that go 60, 70, 80, 90, you know. We have like 3 or 4 Oklahoma boys. We wanted to do this for a gentleman that have these kind of boats that just like to get out and run in them. We don't care if they're high-powered or low-powered. We prefer the high performance. But we want to give people in this area an organization where they can go and have fun, and they can race their boat, they can be recognized, they can win a prize. This whole thing is like family orientated. Once you see all the boats here today, you're going to see their families with them. You're going to see crews with them. These guys travel throughout the country to go to, we are now the 4th shootout, And you're going to see all the family and the camaraderie because they all go around with each other, they all know each other, and it's fun. It's kind of like a fun get-together. We want to be the most organized, safest shootout in the United States, but we still want them to come and have fun. The guys really make this a sport, and they really have fun with their boats, and they work hard on them, and we want to give them a venue to enjoy their efforts.
Well, that's it for this edition of Mid-America Industrial Parks Living Grand on Grand Lake. Thanks for watching. I'm Christy Wallace. We'll see you again next week with another edition of Mid-America Industrial Parks Living Grand on Grand Lake.
Mid-America's Industrial Parks Living Grand on Grand Lake is made possible by
I'm Trey Seps, and I'm a data center facilities technician at Google in the Mid-America Industrial Park. I never thought I'd be working at Google coming out of high school. My senior year, I had a buddy refer me to OSU IT. When I walked in, my picture was up on the wall from being there whenever I was a kid, and I took a Lego camp in like 4th grade. As a data center facilities technician at Google, I am on the electrical team. I do electrical and electronics maintenance. I believe that OSU IT being right here inside the Mid-America Industrial Park is a good asset for the companies within the Mid-America Industrial Park to find people to be ready to work for their company.
Also by
After finishing high school, I immediately got married and started my family. Without a college degree, I found that pretty quickly my options were limited. When I started looking around for a college program for working adults, I quickly found that Rogers State was a great fit. They worked with me to get financial aid, offered classes that fit my busy schedule, and gave me personalized attention that I couldn't get at a larger school. Rogers State definitely started me on my professional career.
Plus by
The Grand River Dam Authority is Oklahoma's state-owned electric utility, fully funded by revenues from electric and water sales instead of taxes. GRDA Electricity touches 75 of 77 counties in the state and serves as an economic development engine for all of Oklahoma. At no cost to taxpayers, GRDA also manages 70,000 surface acres of lakes, including Grand Lake, Lake Hudson, and the W.R. Hallway Reservoir. Annually, the efforts of Team GRDA facilitate over $450 million in economic activity in Oklahoma.
and by viewers and members like you.